Hey you guys, it's Cayley. I am back with another thrift haul. In today's video, I have a ton of stuff to show you. Some of the stuff came from regular thrift stores. Some of it came from the bins. Probably majority of it came from the bins. Some of it even came from wholesalers. So those are the main ways that I source, and occasionally I sprinkle in some garage sales. I think I've only done like 1 or 2 estate sales, and also reseller buyout, which I also consider wholesale. So lots of different ways that we are currently sourcing. Oh, and recently in our community, we have been getting donations in and also doing some consignment stuff. So maybe I'll sprinkle in some of that soon. Let me know if you guys are interested in that. But for today, it's the normal stuff. And yeah, I have a lot to show you. A lot of good, both style-based and brand-based bolos in here. So let's get started. This one is one I'll pretty much pick up all the time. It is Abercrombie & Fitch dresses. This is a modern label, but this is one of their most popular dress styles, which is the Emerson dress. They make minis, they make longer length ones. This one is a mini. It has a little cutout detail, some puff sleeves, very, very trendy style. Usually I can sell the Emerson dresses, the mini ones, anywhere from like 40 to possibly 60, depending on size and style. I think this one is a very good romantic color. Next up, this is a brand that I used to get like everything in men's. Not so much anymore. It is Territory Ahead. This one's kind of a factor stacking moment. This is a size extra large. It is like a thermally waffle knit shacket shirt. Been selling a lot of these. This one will probably list for around 25 to 30. All right, next up, this is a Lily Pulitzer dress. I was lucky enough to find this in a size large. So size large and up in Lily Pulitzer has like an incredible difference in sell-through rate and ASP. So anytime I find a larger size in Lily Pulitzer, I always get excited. This is one of their like t-shirt dresses with a really great print to it. I don't remember the style name. In case you're wondering, I know you guys are going to ask, this little dot here is like our flaw label. It alerts our listers to know that there's something that they need to photograph and something wrong with the item. This one just made a tiny little hole from the tag. I love these. These are called yard sale dots. I can't remember if they're in my supplies list or not. If not, I'll put them in there. If they're not in there, let me know down below. But I get a big pack of them, and I use them for flaw stickers, and they last like forever. Really good deal. All right, next up is another factor stacking piece. This is the brand Pure. It's not necessarily a brand I would be looking for, but the style combination itself, all of the factors involved is why I want to get it. So this is a cashmere cardigan. Great factors already. But it's also a larger size in a women's 14-16, so like an extra large. It's also a longer length. It has pockets, full length sleeves, and it's a hot pink. So like all of the factors combined, I had to get this piece. I'm not sure what we're listing this for. I would guess somewhere between $30 and $40. All right, next up, a tried and true bolo brand is Rip Skirt, and they're actually still performing pretty well, even in the cold weather. Rip Skirt Hawaii. This one's a size large, and it is new with tags. This just says hibiscus, which I think is the print, but there's a specific style name for this too. These are well known for their hook and loop Velcro. Don't use Velcro, but hook and loop wrap style features. They make actually all kinds of stuff. I showed you guys in my what sold video. They make like dresses and things, but this is what they're most well known for. I think we were going to list this one for around $30 or $35. All right, I've been coming across a lot of really good LL Bean pieces lately. LL Bean is one of like my all-time favorite brands to find. I don't pick up everything, but it's really easy to factor stack in this brand, especially in the men's department, but even in the women's as well. And I luckily come across it pretty often because I'm in a mountainous region. So this is an LL Bean women's 3X, so plus size cable knit sweater. LL Bean plus size tops always did well for me. So to find it in a sweater Plus, it is cable knit, is a really, really good thing. I love finding LL Bean stuff. I just noticed that this one still has the tag that we forgot to get off. So I'm going to set this to the side. It was hiding in the armpit. I would say that that one's probably going to be listed between 30 and 40. Here is a brand that I really like getting for bread and butter. It is Natural Life. It doesn't seem to matter what the sell-through rate is on these pieces. I seem to be able to sell them like regardless. Like, it's just such a popular brand. Even their t-shirts I've been able to sell for 25 bucks pretty consistently. And this is a super cute floral kind of burnout graphic shirt. This one is in a size medium. If you find their dresses, they do even better. Next up, not LL Bean, but along those same lines, this is a men's River Trader. Not really a label I would memorize, but great factor stacking style-based piece. This one's a size extra large men's classic navy blue, very fisherman style. It'll be a keyword that we use. Cable knit sweater. Men are definitely looking for these cable knit sweaters right now. Just style alone, probably going to list that for 35 to 40. Next up is another LL Bean. This one is a women's as well. This one is a size large, and it is a thicker kind of cable knit cardigan jacket. Again, substantial piece in LL Bean, cable knit details, which is, I would say, one of the things they're more well known for, is going to really elevate the value and sell-through rate for this particular brand. Again, I'm probably going to list that for about 35 to 40. All right, this one is a brand that I have never found before. By the way, I've got my phone flipped the opposite direction, so I keep looking where the camera normally is. So if it looks like I'm looking off over here to the side, it is not on purpose. We'll get that fixed for the next video. I am talking to you. It may look like I'm not, but I'm talking to you. This is a brand I've never found before, and it is a Bolo brand called Jaded Gypsy. Really excited to find this flannel, kind of a grungy style with some fraying details at the bottom, and then Jaded Gypsy spell out on the back. This brand as a whole has a really good sell-through rate, and I specifically looked up their flannels, and I think I was going to list that for around $40, and great sell-through rate on their flannels. All right, another LL Bean. This is probably one of the best things that you can find in LL Bean right now, which are their barn jackets. Now, regardless of brand, this is a style that you definitely want to know. It is one that you can style-based flip in just about anything, both men's and women. This, however, is going to sell for a lot more because it's LL Bean, a brand kind of known for that and sought after, and it's a women's size 2X. It's in immaculate condition. It feels like it's never been worn, and it is in a very trendy color, which is pink, and it has a corduroy collar, like quite literally all the things that you would want in an LL Bean barn coat. I don't remember what we were listing this for. I want to say it was like around $75. All right, next up is a style-based dress. This is a full-length women's dress / gown. It is not any particular brand, but it is a vintage label, so I'm guessing around Y2K. This is a gorgeous velvet, which I've been talking to you guys, full-length velvet dresses every single year around the holidays do really well for me. This is probably going to be no exception, but besides that, it also has elements of some very trendy Y2K features. So I could see this being a very whimsy goth dress. That'll be a keyword that I use. I'll also use holiday, event, all of the things, but it is so stunning, and that floral beading is really going to add a lot of value. I think I'm going to list this for, I don't know, probably at least $60, if not higher. All right, this was an interesting find. This is a brand I didn't know much about, but I could just tell based off of the silhouette of this that this was a pricey item. This is the brand Roberta Scarpa, made in Italy, and it is a full-length, very like Y2K 90s cut dress with all these extra flowy layers, asymmetric details. The colorway of this is stunning. I'm going to use the keyword fairy and probably whimsy goth with this one. But the silhouette of this is absolutely stunning. I'm going to price this one high because Roberta Scarpa, I think is how you pronounce it, is a designer brand. It doesn't have like a great sell-through rate, but the piece itself paired with the designer brand, I'm going to price this up at least for $70 or higher. All right, next up, this is a little factor stacking moment. This is Marine Layer. It's a size extra large. It's new with tags. It's rainbow striped. I've said it before, but anything with a rainbow color scheme performs really well for me and tends to add a lot of value. I'll use keywords rainbow, probably maximalist, and obviously the actual brand and potentially the style name if we can figure it out. But larger size Marine Layer, new with tags, could not say no to that one. Not sure how much we're going to list that for, at least 25 bucks. All right, next up is another style that is very, very trendy right now in the men's department, which are suede bomber jackets. I feel like this trend never really went away, but is even more trendy right now. So this is the perfect example of a suede bomber jacket. It's got a little bit of love on the leather, but as long as there's no scratches or like holes tearing through, the discoloration of the leather, in my opinion, sometimes adds value to the style. I'm going to use many different keywords on this. I'll probably use like grunge on this one. And this is also a size large by the brand Croft and Barrow, which isn't a brand I get, but again, style-wise, I'm going to list that for at least $50. All right, style-wise, something else I look for are men's Y2K sweatpants. And these are by the brand Abercrombie and Fitch. These might not be actual Y2K, but possibly. And regardless of if it's true Y2K or not, I'm still going to use Y2K because it's a Y2K style. So Abercrombie & Fitch, very good brand to look for in the style. We have a spell out. We have some thick drawstrings. So I think this will perform well. And I'll at least list that for about 25. I usually get 30 to 35 for stuff like that. All right, this one is an experiment. I don't know why I thought this would be a good idea. So this is a Chaps men's blazer. It was screaming like, buy me, because it was just very, very unique. It's a great size. It's like a 48R. It's 100% cotton, but it's got this beautiful plaid that I thought could do well for the holidays. And when I looked up Chaps blazers like this, derby kept popping up as a keyword. So I'm going to put derby in the title, but I'm also going to include holiday and things like that. But it's a very unique blazer. Blazers, in my experience, perform very well depending on what you have. And I think for the holidays, I can style that one up. I think I'm going to list this for $40 and up. Next up, this is another kind of barn chore style coat. Not LL Bean, it's just Land's End, but great sell-through rates on this because of the style. So this is another, I think this might be, yeah, this one's women's. It's vintage. It's got a lining, which is going to increase the value. We have a contrast corduroy collar, thicker contrast cuff as well. All of those things are adding dollar signs up in my head. This one also I will list for $50 and up. Ooh, I came across another bolo brand that I've never found before. Same week. This is Alana Cone. I think is how you pronounce it. Very excited to find this. Not a lot of information on this brand. It's not as common to come across, so that's why. But if you look up like previous history solds, whether it's on eBay's research tool where you can go back further, or whether you go on Poshmark solds so you can see more info, some of these sell for crazy amounts of money. And I think that this one is a more unique one. It's like a patchworky plaid zip pullover, so more substantial piece. I still don't know what I'm going to list this for yet, but it was too good to not get. All right, next up, we have another Natural Life. This one is a one size oversized wide leg jumpsuit. Again, I just love finding Natural Life. I pick up lots and lots of their pieces. Surprisingly, the jumpsuits don't have a very high ASP. Maybe this one does in this particular style since it's wide leg, but generally speaking, I'm looking about 25 to 30 for those. All right, next up, we have a pair of Athleta pants, size 8. What I look for in Athleta are newer styles, so you can check the date on the inside, get the exact style number, and figure that out. But if I can't do that, which most of the time I can, I look for not leggings, so actual pants. I don't know what the style name is of these, but these are definitely a nicer pant style that should go for $25 or higher. All right, we're getting into some bins finds here, so you're going to find a lot of style-based stuff. This is a velvet burnout scarf. We're picking up all kinds of velvet burnout right now. It's great for around Halloween, but it's also good for around the holidays if you title it a little bit differently. This is New York & Company. This one actually is Y2K, I think. A silk rayon blend, so that's going to add value. We've sold a couple of velvet burnout scarves recently. I think for around like 20 to 30 will probably be what we list that one for. All right, next up, something else I like to factor stack are super flare pull-on pants. These are a knit style pant. I'm not familiar with this brand. It might be good. I don't think that it is though. I think that we just got this for style-based reasons. But these super flare pants, I always look for at least 25 and up on those. I also like getting men's Nike sweatpants. These also flip very well for me, $25 and up. This one's a size large, so that should flip pretty quickly as well. Again, about 25. We have a J. Jill size extra large dress. We've been testing out some of the brands that we normally get in plus sizes. We've been testing out an extra large to see how it does and just pricing accordingly. So this is an experiment for that. We've been getting a lot of men's corduroy in general, but corduroy pants. So this could be a style-based piece, but it's also the brand Levi's, which is an elevated brand, in my opinion, for these corduroy pants. Depending on style and size, these could go anywhere from 25 to probably about 35. All right, we have some factor stacking here, some Old Navy size large, wide leg, full leg pants. Nothing too substantial, but I hope to sell those for around 25. We've also been getting a lot of milkmaid style coquette tops, which is what I would consider this one being. Still very trendy, and people can layer over top, so we're still continuing to get. Not a brand I would memorize. This is also modern. We've been selling stuff like this for around $25. We have a newer style Nike pair of shorts. These should sell for about 25. Needs to be like the newer techie stuff to sell pretty well. All right, this is becoming one of my favorite categories, dresses. This is a Max Studio, not a brand that you want to get, but it has a lot of great factors here. We've got the darker florals, which is trendy for this time of the year. We have, this actually looks like maybe a skull crossbone. That's probably not what it is with Max Studio, but it kind of looks that way. We'll probably use the keywords whimsy goth with this one. It is tiered, it has a mesh overlay. Mesh overlays are also very trendy right now. Some more style-based milkmaid coquette style. This one's just by Billabong. 25 bucks. This one is kind of a fairy grunge piece. It is by the brand Wild Fable, which I would not recommend getting. But again, style-based wise, brand does not matter. It's got some sheer details, all this fringy stuff down here, and the colorway of this is all screaming fairy grunge to me. I think that'll perform pretty well. We're gonna list that for around 25. All right, we have a pair of Madewell jeans. Now, I don't pick up a lot of Madewell anymore, but these are a little flare style jean. And so wide leg, flare, barrel leg, and all women's brand of jeans is something we look for. I'm not sure exactly how much they have these listed for, but at least 25. Here's another style base. This one's kind of like a fairy style. The brand Johnny Heaven. I'm not familiar with that. Maybe that's a good one. But regardless style, we've got the baby doll style, the mesh overlay. We've got a longer sleeve for the winter. Definitely fairy vibes. With this, at least 25 and up. We have another pair of Nike sweatpants, about 25 bucks for those. We have a pair of men's pants. Some of the stuff you're experiencing with me. All right, these are a pair of men's LL Bean pants. Again, LL Bean, great brand to factor stack in, and a lot of the men's stuff performs well. This is a pair of cargo pants. We have another Milkmaid style, coquette style. This is just American Eagle. I like the patchworky details of this. Again, 25. Another $25 style base. This is Apartment 9. And it is a baby doll Y2K style top, again with some darker floral colors and a mesh overlay. We have a coquette. Man, this is heavy. What is this? I wonder if this has a specific brand. I don't see one, but super heavy. Maybe this is worth more. Oh, here it is. I say this might be worth more than we think. It's so heavy. Orchard corset. I think this is like maybe a cosplay, maybe Ren Fair type of brand. Super heavy duty. We might list this for a little bit more because of that, but regardless, these corseted style tops, regardless of brand, very trendy right now. A lot of this Renaissance stuff, basically anything you would wear to Ren Fair, very trendy at the moment. We have a Patagonia Cinchilla. Not going to say no to Patagonia, especially outerwear. This is a women's, looks like an older label, possibly vintage Cinchilla vest. Without knowing the style, I'm not sure, but all of these at least 25. This is a Polo Ralph Lauren men's thermal shirt with a spot on it. I've mentioned before, but men's thermal shirts during this time of the year, especially in brands like Ralph Lauren, perform very well for us. All right, we have a Style Beast Anything Cats piece. This is a sweatshirt. We'll use the keywords cat lady and things like that. I always find that cats perform well. We have another style-based whimsy goth, fairy grunge, Y2K top, Moda International. This one's like a little, I guess it's not cow, maybe. Longer length sheer lacy top. We won't use Halloween or witchy, but we'll continue using whimsy goth in those things. This is just by the brand Altered State. It is a very preppy tennis core, old money, cable knit, again, sweater vest. Probably only expect about $20, $25 for that, but a good pickup at the bins. All right, we have a great brand to look for in plus sizes. It is John Mark. Very high retail and resale value on the plus sizes. Very artsy log and look piece. I have no idea what this is going to sell for. Some of the John Mark ones look a little bit more like Johnny Was boho pieces. Those I know can sell like $40 to $60, but I'm not sure about the sweatshirt material. I'm guessing at least $40 and up, if not much more than that. Here is a J. Crew men's piece. This is a little, not thermal, but a Henley style. Henley is very trendy, and J. Crew's a great brand to factor stack with that. 25. All right, this one does not have a brand label at all, but it is, again, very coquette, very boho, fairy, all of the things, and it's a super oversized tiered look with patchwork details. Anything patchwork like this, we're picking up, especially from the bins. All right, we have a Y2K American Eagle cardigan. We did sew up the tops. We're testing out some cardigans now. I have had some luck with them, but definitely not as much as the tops, so I'm making sure to price accordingly. This one has the little logo and very Y2K, at least $25 for that. All right, we have some plus size pieces. This is one of my favorite brands to get in plus sizes for bread and butter, Belle Kim Gravel. This is a size 3X, which is one of my favorite sizes to find in plus sizes. This is a beautiful blouse with some bird and fruit and floral print and butterflies. So all great things, very whimsical, inspired. This should do really well. I might price that one up. We have an Eileen Fisher pair of pull-on pants. I love finding this brand in just about anything, especially at the bins, so we grab it. These all list for at least $25. We have a men's another thermal shirt. This one is a Henley. It's by Stephen Barry's, not a brand that I would normally get. But again, just factor stacking here, $25. Been selling a lot of men's thermal Henleys. This is a J. Jill Wherever collection plus size dress. J. Jill plus size does really well, and their Wherever collection does especially well for us. So we will get that listed. We have another baby doll top. This is by the brand American Rag, and it is a dark floral baby doll top. Lots of great details on this one. This one's also kind of a milkmaid style, 25 and up. All right, we have a Land's End men's down vest, size medium. If this is real down, which I think it is, yes, it is. You can elevate brands that you wouldn't normally get in outerwear like Land's End with real down, factor stack that a little bit, and you might have a great item. I would say around $30 to $35 for that. We have a vintage Ralph Lauren linen top, full button. With Ralph Lauren, we've been using Old Money. I'll probably use Clean Girl on this one. This also has the monogram right here, which is going to add a little bit more value for us. Next up, we have a men's cardigan. I've been telling you guys about men's cardigans forever. This is a Y2K style express men's full zip cardigan, kind of like military grungy details here, and then cable knit throughout. Probably list that one for around $30. We have another men's thermal shirt. This one is just a modern American Eagle with a Y2K stripe across it, $25. I've been selling a lot of velvet jackets recently. This one is completely unbranded. It is a gorgeous chocolate brown, which is also a very trendy color right now. Women's velvet blazer. We'll use lots of keywords on this, but I'll try to market it a little bit more towards holidays. All right, two more pieces, then I'm going to end the thrift haul because it's getting kind of long. This is another category that I like looking for, are longer length dressy pea coats, both men's and women's. They perform better in the men's, but the women's we do get. This is Larry Levine women's vintage longer length pea coat. I'll use a couple different keywords with this. Probably Old Money, twee, and then definitely wool pea coat. And the last item is an oldie but a goodie. It is one I get all the time, a J. Crew sweater blazer. Sweater blazers in general, not just in J. Crew, for both men and women, perform well. So if you do find one, don't just look up cardigan, don't just look up blazer, look up sweater blazer and see if it makes a difference in your search. J. Crew's absolutely one that you want to look for. This is a beautiful color. Neutral colors perform even better. And this one is in a size medium. I am guessing we probably listed that around $35 to $40, but that is it for the thrift haul today. Let me know what you guys think below. What was your best find this week? Let me know down in the comments below. Thanks so much for watching, and I will see you guys in the next one.